have some guests in the studio, and the thing with our guests is they've always been big supporters of Tulsa and Oklahoma and have never shied away from their love for the community, and they're putting together a festival that's happening May 18th. It's called the Hop Jam, and Zach, Isaac, and Taylor are here, the Hanson brothers.
Hey, good morning.
And,
Hello.
And have you guys ever been on KMOD?
We have been, yeah. We've done some. I think we've called in a couple different times.
Okay.
Over the years. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the, the thing about
called in, that sounds like you were calling in like
hello.
That was me calling. Hello.
Right.
I was like 14. I was like, I love classic rock.
No, but I mean, from
Can you play?
I think we've done interviews remotely when we haven't been home. The thing that's cool about what's going on with the festival is so often we're from Tulsa and we've claimed Tulsa forever. We've always been really proud of being here, but oftentimes what we do takes us away.
Right.
It takes us out. You go on tour, you go release albums and stuff. And for years we've had our business here and we live here and we love Tulsa. So the festival is like kind of an amazing chance to come and take our energy, making music, brewing beer, and having it kind of all the result of it is in Tulsa.
Brewing beer?
We're also brewing beer. Yeah.
Do you guys brew? Do you guys do homebrew? Do you guys do?
We're not. We're not really home brewers, but we know a lot of
home
homebrewers.
drinkers.
We're home
Does
brewers.
that help?
Yes, it's the same. It's the same.
We know a lot of home brewers. In fact, actually, one of the places in which this actually really started, at least the I guess you could say the seed of the idea of making beer, because Hanson Brothers Beer. I mean, that's kind of we launched this back in October or something like that. But it started being on the road with, amongst other things, one of our friends and guitar techs who was a home brewer and also a beer snob. So
Right.
it kind of all started in some form or another there, where we all kind of started getting farther and farther away from your kind of just traditional American lagers and kind of started getting really adventurous with stuff. So
let's back up again. So back up a little bit. So the Hop Jam is happening May 18th at the Brady Arts District. I think that's Mayfest weekend
It
as
is
well.
the end of Mayfest weekend.
So it's a perfect end to that festival. That's a Tulsa treasure that goes on. And so we've got Zach, Isaac, and Taylor here from Hanson Brothers. They've got their own beer called Hops. I almost messed that up.
from the guys who invented Mbop.
Right.
Yeah.
So when people hear that, they go, "Wait."
They're like, "What are you talking about?
Right.
Is
They're
this
like,
a prank?
Right.
It's not April 1st,
Right.
is it?"
How do you explain that to people? How do you go, "Listen"?
The thing I always say to people is we actually don't think of the name in relation to the song. We just think of when you drink beer, you should go, hops.
Oh, that's weird. You get it all at the same time. It's like it's trained in your brain. You guys
Well,
do that.
that's. I mean,
I just knew where he was going. I just couldn't resist.
the truth of it is we've first of all, the beer's now. I mean, this is kind of our flagship beer. I mean, Hanson Brothers Beer in its own right. We're planning to brew lots of different beers over the in the future, but this is kind of our initial beer. It's kind of it's introductory. You may not even know you like craft beer, but once you try this, we feel like it's the open door because there's so much amazing stuff happening in Oklahoma. We have huge respect not only for what's happening all over the country, but what's happened in Oklahoma with Marshall, with Coop, with Prairie. That's some of the newer guys, Dead Armadillo. And so essentially Mustang, who brews, we use their facility to brew our beer.
Yeah.
So I mean, the deal is we've really gotten into craft beer, and there's so much great stuff. There's a great community of people making
There really
beer.
is.
And we feel like so much, I mean, there's such a parallel between independent music and craft beer and the change that's happening. It's like people are pursuing better stuff. Like
Right.
they just want to try something better, and that's
And
what got us
passionately,
into it.
they're just excited about it. It's like everybody's sitting there writing songs, kind of riffing. Oh, here's a good riff idea. Here's a good melody idea. It just so happens it's barley and
So
hops.
when people come out, exactly, when the Hop Jam, there's been a lot of really cool beer festivals and beer events all over in Oklahoma as the craft deal has grown. McNally's has their deal. You've got Wild Brew. You've got Tulsa Craft Beer Week was all last week and the week
Just
before.
happened, which was awesome.
Lots
It
of
was
really
awesome.
cool stuff happening. But we just thought what we can bring to the table as beer fans and as brewers ourselves is the music thing as well.
Right.
And so the Hop Jam is literally half music, half beer. It's downtown. It's a free event. You can come down. Everybody can come, all ages, free show. It's right after Mayfest. And the truth, for us, it's also an anniversary because the first show we ever did was Mayfest 22 years ago.
Wow.
When I was 9.
22 years, huh?
Zach was
So
6.
cool.
Ike was 11.
I was 11, yeah.
And so it's an anniversary for us each time. We thought that's kind of what's cool about doing it in May is it's it's always going to be sort of our band's kind of, hey, this is our anniversary. So it kind of lines
when you're
up.
celebrating, you have to give a toast.
And so what do you can have a lot of
With
beer.
a beer.
Virtually every brewer, that's producing beer is, looks like it's going to be there.
Let's see here. We'll go down the list. Hanson Brothers Beer Company with the hops, which you should get at your local package store. It's delicious. Mustang, Marshall, Prairie Artesian, Coop, Battered Boar Brewing, Rough Tail, Hubert, Redbud, Anthem Brewing, Black Mesa, Chalk, Dead Armadillo, Foam, Willow's Family Ale. I mean, you got a lot of beers that are going to be there, and they're all delicious.
They are, yeah.
And music. I think we got to get to the music, too, because you guys are going to play to celebrate 22 years, which it's people are going to be excited that. And Robert Randolph and the Family Band, which if you've never seen a jam band, watching him kick that steel guitar around is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we first of all, we love Robert, and we think that as a band, it's such an amazing mesh of different styles. You've got funk, you've got kind of soul, you've got gospel, you got the kind of jam band thing happening.
You got the bluesy, just ridiculousness.
It literally, to me, they are the perfect. They're the perfect band for an event like this, where you've got hopefully an insane cross section of people that are coming out.
Right. And an all around good guy, by the way.
Yes, and apparently can drink his Patron. Right.
He can drink his Patron. I've drank Patron with him a couple times.
So he can drink his beer.
We're going to put him to the test. May 18th, Brady Arts District, the Hop Jam. It's free. Robert Randolph and the Family Band. Hanson's going to play. You got another band you're going to announce later, and there's a chance for local bands, right?
That's right. Well, I mean, we're a local band. Everybody's a local band at some level.
Right.
And so we started, the first time we did it, almost 10 years ago, we did an opening band contest, and we just were blown away by the response. Because you get to actually look, as you do a tour, you support and you find out who's doing stuff in different towns. So we've got a contest. We're calling it the Awesome Music Contest. Tulsa World's helping co-host it with us. And essentially if you're an Oklahoma band, anywhere in Oklahoma, you can go on, submit your music. You submit a link of one of the songs you feel like is the best representation. And over the next couple of weeks, people are still submitting, and then we're going to have 1 week of just get your fans out to vote. And whoever wins the voting is going to play on the Hop Jam.
It'll be the first one on. I guess music starts, at 5 o'clock?
Yeah. So they're going to play at 5, and then after that, more music, and then we're going to close it out.
So it's free to get in there, obviously.
Yep.
And obviously beer is going to cost, but you get to enjoy music and drink some beverages and
also some great food trucks. There's going to be.
I was going to ask what the food story was.
Was about 10 different food trucks. One of my favorites, Oklahoma Joe's, is going to be down there.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing barbecue.
So,
come on.
It's just kind of like, this keeps piling on. You're like, I want to go to this event.
When
is this happening?
Even if you don't want to go to one of the food trucks, I mean, there's great restaurants right there. I mean, we're right there. Mexicali's right there, and Tavern, and Kaz's, and so there's lots of great restaurants.
Yeah.
We have a real pride in our neighborhood. I mean, we've been downtown for quite a few years now. And
you guys live downtown?
Well, our office and our operation is downtown, because we're kind of, as a band, we're very made as far as everything that we do is. We have a management team.
T-shirts ourselves.
No, but I think that's a good point. Is you guys are self-supportive. I mean, you rely on the record industry a little bit, but you guys do everything on your own. Isn't that right?
Well, I mean, just like people that we want to go out and get your beer. I mean, they're same with music. Your fans, people that you're connecting with, they help us do it on our own. I mean, they allow us by having a direct relationship.
We're a very entrepreneurial kind of.
That's a good way. Very Shark Tank of you, yes.
Yeah, it's very Shark Tank.
Yeah.
We actually sit down and have a panel every day. Somebody comes in and is like, I'd like to release this next song. We're like, I don't think so.
Taylor says no to everything.
I actually have a trap door that drops Zach into a pit of fire.
And you will die!
Well, I'm glad that you guys said yes to this. May 18th, Brady Arts District, the Hop Jam, Hanson, Robert Randolph, and the Family Band, another band you're going to announce, and a local band. We'll put the link up on Facebook page, so if you want to submit a band, all the great Oklahoma beers are going to be there. Obviously, you guys like hops, and we talked a little bit about Mustang. What's your favorite Oklahoma beer right now? Because true craft beer snobs, they just have their flavor for the day because it changes so often.
Well,
there
what
are
I will
so
say
many.
is, I'm actually kind of when we were at Mustang a few weeks ago, because we're actually brewing a special brew, and a lot of the brewers are as well, for Hop Jam. So we were brewing a special brew in Oklahoma City, and one of the ones was one that they have not put into market yet. That's a Mustang beer, which I let's see, here I am.
Get to the point, man!
Yeah, I mean,
I love that you guys are still brothers, by the way. You just pick on each other like crazy. I love it.
I really focus on just the different breweries. I mean, I think what's going on, because a lot of the guys that are doing really interesting stuff are throwing out lots of different things. Like our friends at Prairie who are jumping around from beer that is pushing the envelope with literally jalapeno and chocolate and insane malty notes, and then you've got doing some more classic saisons that are, you know, kind of more of a traditional German beer.
Yeah.
And I think, and then you look at people like Rough Tail, and they're really kind of mixing up. They got stuff like Rockstar, and you know, I tried one of their IPAs, a limited IPA. They did a tap takeover there at the first shop last week during Tulsa Craft Beer Week.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, that's what's just so badass about the whole craft beer deal is there's actually a community where the audience that's going out there to get stuff and the brewers are like in collaboration. I mean, literally, they're going out to a bar and going, "Hey, is this good?" And you know, the audience is, you know, they're going out to buy beers like, "Yeah, this is good, but I wish it was like this." There's a dialogue happening, and that's what makes the whole thing different. I mean, I feel giddy when we get to go out and like talk about the beer thing, because we're in a world on the music side where you can't go to a store really anymore and be like, hey, where's the crazy guy in the back that's like, dude, this record's insane, you gotta get it. That's gone now. Like, and so now, like, you can still, with a great beer, you walk into the bar and the guys and we're like, hey, I really want to try a new IPA, or really want to try a stout, or what about do you have any?
Or then you have these like crazy
lagers
combos, like Coop has their F5, which is an amazing pale ale IPA. And then that's
kind of their flagship beer. It's
delicious.
And it will knock you on your butt.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great beer. But then they also have their DNR, and apparently a bunch of people combine it and call it the FDR.
That is awesome.
So you put the DNR and the F5 into the FDR, and it's pretty.
So
I can only imagine.
DNR?
Yeah.
I think FDR was known for having a giant dong too, but that's something else.
I wouldn't really know about that.
Yeah, well, I've read. I mean, obviously, I don't know for sure.
You're a history buff. That's what you're trying to say?
Only with dongs. Wait, what?
Drinking the beer that you're not thinking about.
Exactly.
I love this. Never mind.
The Hop Jam, May 18th, down at the Brady Arts District. It's free. It's all these local bands, and you guys love microbrew so much. Someone told me that you're an advocate too for the microbrew scene in regards to changing some of the laws in Tulsa. Is that right?
Well, we don't want to pick any fights at the wrong time, but the real deal to me has always been Oklahoma. I feel like is a pretty pro-business, you know.
We're one of the best states in the country for entrepreneurship.
We should be.
Well,
we should be more than we are
statistically
in the beer world.
Oh,
and
in the beer world.
We should be more in the beer world. I feel like there's an awesome energy that could happen in this part of the country, and especially in our town and in our whole state. And so we just, as we step into this world, we're definitely not going to be on the sidelines, because there's a lot of possibilities, from the potential for higher alcohol content brew pubs. You know, right now you can't get a license for a brew pub that's not 3.2 beer, which is just kind of stupid.
Right. And
then,
with the scene, that's something that comes along with the scene, is having a brew pub restaurant.
A lot of great breweries grew out of having their own brew pub. You know,
the way I would see it is, I'm an entrepreneur, and ultimately, if I make a product, I should be able to sell it out of the front of my business in some form or another where I make it. So ideally, if you could have brew pubs,
there's just a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things that have come. There's a lot of things that have come over time, and you know, I mean, they're there for a reason. You've got you've got distributors, you've got, brokers, you've got retailers, and there's a lot of people that there needs to be a dialogue, essentially, that really looks at like the way things are growing, because we just feel like there's really no downside to figuring out how to maximize the possibility of craft beer in Oklahoma. Yeah. And that's, I mean, really, the Hop Jam
industry is not bad for anyone.
The Hop Jam is like a fun offshoot of our passion for both things. But,
right.
But when you can see it, what's great about it is when you can see the realization of the two things, of that energy coming together. When you go to a festival, even if it's, a couple hundred people, or if it's a couple thousand, you go, this is really amazing. I want to be a part of this. And that's what we feel like we can help magnify, is just let the whole community, get more and more attention towards this growing community, the micro community of craft beer.
So could I say that the Hop Jam, if you're someone who wants to see those laws change, it would be smart to attend the Hop Jam on May 18th, because it only helps fuel the argument and fuel the discussion of changing some of the laws.
I love that you're going straight for the jugular on this. But yeah, I mean, I think if we as a community can show that there's a real desire to have more access to more craft beer and really kind of embrace that community than any event, whether it's ours or any other craft beer event.
There
you've
are
got
events
people
happening in Oklahoma City, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Tapworks hosts something called Oklahoma Craft Beer Festival, which is really cool. The Saturday before the Hop Jam, so there's kind
OKC.
of in OKC.
Oh, fun!
And so we're just like, look, yeah, go be seen. Hop Jam, obviously, this is our first year. We hope it'll be many, many more years. But come out and show your love for it, because absolutely, that's what anybody's looking for. If you're in a position of leadership in Oklahoma, you're going to be going, hey, well, how do we? What does our community care about?
Right.
So
showing the value and potential revenue and growth and entrepreneurism in those businesses is always
and
good.
then share a beer in the sun.
Sounds like a rally. It's not a rally.
Let's just drink some
No,
beer.
it's just
music.
beer and music. Beer and music, and it's happening May 18th, Brady Arts District, and Hanson Brothers. Thanks, guys, for coming by, and thanks for the hops. I'm not giving that away. I'm totally drinking that. That is going to be delicious.
Well, we needed to, prioritize here, so we had to at least make sure to bring you guys some beer. You did have some. You said
I had
before.
some
We
yesterday.
dropped
Yes.
some off.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there's more where that came from, and hopefully we can come back and maybe
Absolutely.
we can get some more of these brewers to tell their story.
Listen, get to talk beer. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Thanks. All right, the Hop Jam, May 18th at the Brady Arts District. The link is on our Facebook page. If you're a band and you want to play the stage with Hanson, Robert Randolph, and another guest that they'll announce later, again, that'll be on our Facebook page. The Hop Jam, May 18th at the Brady Arts District for free. We'll be